Okay.
Good morning. My name is Anne-Louise Sterry, and I'm here at the studios of Sterry and Sterry with our new show, Advice for Newlyweds. I have here with me Dick McGee and Bob Sterry.
We're both great experts.
Yes, so I understand, gentlemen, and I understand that you have a friend, Peter Duckworth, who is getting married to a wonderful lady called Maureen Luck, and you two had some advice for Maureen and Peter in this new journey in their life.
I think more for Maureen. There's no hope for Peter.
So Maureen, you can see they have some things to tell you. So gentlemen, tell me, how long have you known Peter?
Well, I think it's about 40 years, though there have been many occasions when it's felt more like 400.
This is very interesting. And you, Bob?
Yeah, I second what Dick said. It's often seemed like a very, very, very long time, which is how long I've had to wait for Peter.
That's right.
It's a very,
predominantly
very long time.
Spent waiting
for Peter.
Waiting.
Waiting.
And this is even though you haven't seen Peter in person for a number of years, either of you. Is that correct?
Oh,
2 years or so?
Couple of years.
Couple of years or so.
Yeah,
and you're still waiting.
Yes.
Yes. Now, how did you two find out about the upcoming nuptials of Maureen and Peter?
Suddenly. It was suddenly, right, Dick?
A suddenly, very brief email arrived, I can't remember exactly when, but not very long ago, after I've made all my arrangements and announcing the auspicious day being the 2nd of July, where in my opinion it was actually the 28th or 29th, was much more auspicious.
And Bob, in your case, I understand that it was so, the email that came from Peter was so brief and so late that you didn't even have time to plan to get to the wedding.
Oh, it was absolutely impossible. Besides, my darling mother-in-law had decided to take me to Bermuda for a vacation, which I dearly deserve. So it's absolutely impossible for me to make it. Of course, I'm full of regrets, but I will be raising a beer on the beach.
And would you say this is typical of Peter? Yes.
Yeah.
Look, it's a miracle we have got told at all.
Actually, that was the surprise that we knew about it, in fact.
Maureen, we wonder if it was a surprise for you too. You'll have to. I wonder how soon
Did you get an email?
We'd like to hear that. Yes.
Look, he's proposed to me.
On the next part of the show, we'll be interviewing you, Maureen, to find out how you found out Peter was going to be available on July 2nd. Oh my goodness.
That's always assuming he will be.
We hope he turns up.
So I gather that he's late for a lot of things, but I think you probably have some other memories of him too. I mean, what's your best memory of Peter? Or your funniest, shall we say?
From my huge stock.
Yes.
My worst and best memory of Pete is returning home to our apartment where Pete, Dick and I lived in domestic bliss for some time. And to find Peter attempting to regrind the valve seats of this poxy little sports car that he had fallen in love with. How he had got the engine into our lounge where and then dismantled it onto a piece of, I don't even know, I think he had it. I think
a piece of called the carpet.
Yes, carpet. He had it all out there and was hammering and drilling away at it past midnight. To no avail, as far as I can recall. That was.
And how long did the engine remain in the lounge?
Quite a while. I think the thing that's still staggering is how he actually managed to get the engine out of this crappy little car into anywhere. And actually disassemble it, because being practically minded is not one of Pete's fortes.
No, knowing one end of a wrench from another is a skill that he doesn't really possess.
That's right.
You should know this, Maureen, if you ever need anything tightened.
He is not your handyman.
Or, on the other hand, he may be.
He may be. Yes. Well, that's a different
that's another story.
We're not going to go into that. But Maureen, hopefully Peter doesn't have any more small cars he might think about dismantling in your new lounge, in your new home together. Dick, any memories you would like to share?
Well, I guess that probably is, I mean, there are so many, but I mean, they all mainly have come around Pete being late for things and the excuses that go, the long rambling sort of excuse which makes absolutely no sense whatsoever, while we've been twiddling our thumbs, swearing away, drinking beer, whatever. So I guess, but in terms of actual things that he did, which is very unusual, the car episode is probably pretty close to the top of the list.
Yeah, he's very creative in those excuses, though.
Very imaginative. Yeah.
Yes. Well, and I remember meeting Peter when they were all living in the flat. Though the car engine was not on the living room floor anymore. It was in the sunroom, I do believe, the sun porch by that time.
Oh, yeah.
I think it had migrated,
yes.
Yeah.
But here's what I remember, Maureen, that he was absolutely adorable, as I'm sure he still is, which is probably what attracted you to him to begin with. And I do remember one particular evening when we were all supposed to meet at a pub, and Pete forgot, and it was something about he worked too late, and he got his car locked in the car park, and he couldn't get out to get to the pub.
I had to climb out over the railing.
That's right.
And it was just one sort of memory.
A very typical example.
But I found that very endearing at the time, though these guys didn't find, because they had to miss a round at the pub because it was his round and he wasn't there. However, anyway, getting on with other advice you might have for Maureen. Any worst memory? I mean, you couldn't have any bad memories of Peter.
Oh no, of course not. No. I mean,
no, a real charmer. Every sense of the word.
Full of bullshit.
And Maureen, you might want to comment on that as well. So, I mean, what advice would you give to Maureen, knowing as you do Peter's most endearing characteristics?
Just let me get the book.
Well, it's difficult to know where to start, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose if you could tether him to something, that would be quite handy. At least you'd know where he was. And there might be other opportunities.
I think that's a brilliant idea, Dick. In fact, so our viewers could know, Mr. McGee here has actually invented the Husband Tether. It's up for patent now.
The McGee Tether.
And it's McGee Tether. And any wives who are interested can get in touch with us.
And you can buy it on eBay.
Yeah. Get in touch with us at Anne-Louise at Anne-Louise.com and we'll send you the McGee Tether, even before the patent comes out. And Bob, do you have any advice for
Well, I think, Mo, you've already known Pete for a few years, so you have probably seen the upsides and the downsides. So it might be almost futile to give you any advice at this late stage, because it's also
too late.
But do feel free to call Dick and myself and Anne-Louise if you do get into a bit of a fix. You have our email address. And this is an advice show.
Yes,
right?
It is an advice show.
So yeah, send it along. Do copy to Pete, but it won't make any bloody difference.
And we'll pull from our store of experience.
Oh yes.
How we handle a similar situation.
Brilliant idea.
And there is one other point I'd like to bring out, actually, that might be helpful to all of you and to you, Maureen, is that I've recently been reading this brain research that says that some people lack this sort of timepiece is in their neocortex, and they're actually unable.
I didn't know Pete had a neocortex.
No. Well, that could be part of the problem.
Oh, well, we haven't gotten to that part, but I'm assuming that he does. And they actually lack some piece that helps them with time control management.
Among other things.
And one other thing, yes. And one thing that can help is a analog watch. In fact, analog clocks all over the house, everywhere he is, and that can help him keep better time. So that's my tip for you, Maureen.
Analog clocks.
That would suit Pete. He is a bit of an analog person, really.
Yes.
And good idea.
And I'm guessing to end the show, you would probably like to send love to your friend Pete.
Well, I shall be there.
Oh, you should be. Oh, you'll be giving him love.
Yes. I'll give it in person.
Give it to him personally.
And will you be sharing hugs from Bob as well?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm sending my personal envoy.
Yeah.
With all the usual guff that goes along with an occasion like this. So there you have it.
There you have it. So this is Anne-Louise Sterry with Dick McGee and Bob Sterry for Advice to the Newlyweds. And if you know any newlyweds who would like to be featured on our show, please do get in touch. Ciao.
Ciao.
Righto.
I should have a show called that. The McGee Tether.
That's brilliant, Dick.
I thought that was quite good.
And the patent is even better. Oh my gosh. You're going to make a lot of money on this thing.
Oh my word.
The McGee Tether.
Yeah.
Yes.